But there's a great message. You can see that from so many perspectives. You can look at this and say, sometimes we're Lehi trying to get his children to wake up and see. But often we're Laman and Lemuel.
Yeah.
And we're the blind ones, and we're stubbornly saying, oh, I hate when God tells me what to do. I hate all these commandments, and I hate all these restrictions, until we realize this really is Heavenly Father trying to say, I want you to be happy, and here's how to be happy. And the sad thing is, Isaiah tells a story that, hey, if you resent God, if you resent the wall that he put up to protect you from the enemy, he'll tear the wall down, and the enemy will come and destroy you. So that's the idea of 2 Nephi chapter 1 is you've got to understand that everything that God is doing in your life is for your benefit, and stop being angry at him because he's trying to bless you. And you see that blinder that Nephi, I can totally see why Nephi throws this chapter in, because in the latter days, so many people are angry at God because he's doing something for their benefit that they don't like, and they're angry. Yeah. Which now leads us to chapter 2, because one of the reasons we're angry at God is because of the environment he set up.
It's not fair. Why
it doesn't
am I in
make
this
sense.
Messed up world. It's so messed up.
This world doesn't make sense. I have a hard time seeing the love of God in this world where there's so much pain and suffering and opposition. And so now we're going to throw in chapter 2 where Lehi says, okay, guys, this is why the world is messed up. Let's see God and his purposes and why this world is messed up. So that's 2 Nephi chapter 2.
So we're in this world of oppositions. We're in this world where we can't do it by ourselves. I love verse 8. No flesh can dwell in the presence of God, save it be through the merits, mercy, and grace of the Holy Messiah, who layeth down his life according to the flesh. And why? To bring to pass the resurrection of the dead. That is Lehi's testimony. That's my testimony. None of us are going to make it. I love Bryce, verse 3. Yeah. It gives me so much hope because I see all my faults and I see all the times I mess up as a father and as a teacher. I love where it says, Lehi says, wherefore I know, verse 3, that thou art redeemed because of the righteousness of thy Redeemer. He doesn't say, Jacob, I know you're redeemed because you're such a good kid, because you got straight A's, because you don't break the law of Moses. He says, I know you're going to make it because I've seen Jesus. And I just want to add my testimony to that. If you believe in Jesus and you hitch your wagon to him, he'll get you there. Yeah. That's powerful.
And here's how he's going to get you there. So let me just give a brief overview of 2 Nephi chapter 2, okay? God is a being that acts. He has freedom to act. Freedom, eternally and earthly, comes from the right use of agency. You'll never gain freedom until you make a right choice. Captivity comes from the wrong use of agency. Now, in order for men to have agency, they have to have the power to choose, which is made possible by opposition. And some choices are right and some choices are wrong. And the way we know the difference is by the law. The law tells us which choices are right and which choices are wrong. And Lehi is going to say there must be an enticement. You need to be enticed to do both good and evil in order to truly have a choice. Well, this whole environment of law and choice and opposition is made possible because of the fall. And the fall brought to pass an environment in which we could choose. Now, in that environment of choosing, wrong choices are going to be part of the program. And so to overcome their captivity, Christ was sent to atone for our mistakes. And because of the atonement, men are now free to choose for themselves. That's the structure.
Yep.
God is a being of agency. Agency requires choice, opposition, law, enticement. The fall made that environment possible. So don't curse God that we live in a fallen world. It's part of the plan. And when we make wrong choices, the atonement is going to remove the captivity. Therefore, the summary here is in verse 27, because of all these things, because of the fall, because of the creation, because of atonement, because of agency, you are now free to choose. So use your agency to gain freedom so that we can eventually have the happiness that God has.